Thank you for watching. Wow, we already have 13 people. We are here. Amazing. You win with the party favors because I didn't even think of that. I mean, I got balloons and the lighting I'm not thrilled with, but it is decent.
I worked hard on this, Julia. I went to quite a few party stores. Many of them are closed, so I search and finally.
I need that because, we have a farm, so I need that. I'm so thrilled to have you here and sharing this. And everyone watching, thank you so much for being here. As you know, today I'm turning 30 and my 4th book launches with a dear friend, Dr. Addison.
Happy birthday.
Thank you. What a way to celebrate a birthday. I'm like, I'm going to keep doing this.
You are hard to keep up with for sure.
Look at this, guys. You're so kind. You are so kind. You know what's funny is last night I had this dream that I didn't make any of my launch events on time. And I woke up like 5 different times last night and I was so stressed out. And I was like, is this real? Is it really going to happen? Oh, crazy. Yes. So why don't we tell them first about the giveaway and how to enter? Let's start there. So let's do that. So right now, as you know, this book just came out. And what's really, really exciting, guys, is we were able, I don't know how this happened. We were able to launch the hardback version and it went live this morning and we literally submitted it 2 days ago. And that is a new feature that Amazon did not have 5 days ago. I can't, my last book, the hardback had to be through Ingram Spark because Amazon didn't have this feature. So there's a hardback now on Amazon of this book. So I can't believe that. That was a gift for me to wake up to this morning. But here's our giveaway. And Rachel, my social media manager, Rachel Moffitt, she may be using her profile. She will post in the comments as well to let you know what the giveaway is. And there's a description in this video that tells you about it. But first of all, what we want to do is we want to give away a signed copy of this book with a mug to 6 people.
And so bookmark.
Yes. Display it all. The bookmark. And you know what? We also have these things. And these are like beautiful on tabletops. And look at all these amazing people in the book. All of these amazing people. So cool. This is a we journey, Dr. I. This is not a me thing. And I love that. I love that that's what our book turned into. It's amazing. So the giveaway, how you enter, we're going to look at all the entries Friday and announce the winners then. So that's in 2 days. So to enter, you need to be in the US or the UK. You need to share the book and you can get that link. It's bit.ly/skip the degree. Is there a way we can put that on the screen? Let's see. Oh, we can. Okay, cool. I'm going to edit and add a quick banner. So here is a link to the book, bit.ly/, and you can also just go to savethetuition.com. But this link gets you directly to the book on Amazon. So if you, let's see. So if you share the book, that link, or show this up on screen, that link, or savethetuition.com. Share that with the hashtag skip the degree. You can share anywhere, Twitter, Facebook, or LinkedIn. Make sure you're using that hashtag. That's how we're going to find and search the posts. And you can share as many times as you want on as many platforms as you want, 1 entry per share. And we're going to send a signed copy of the book and a skip the degree, save the tuition mug. So we will send those out on Friday. So go, guys, go share this book. Share it with your friends on Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Tell them about this book. And you know, what's really amazing is that this book is, Dr. I and I did not set out to write this book. We set out to transform and change people's lives. And I think like it's already happening. We have had beta readers that have told us, and I'm going to put the domain up here too. We have beta readers that have told us their lives have been changed from this book. And it's amazing to see the age groups we've been touching. We have people that are in their 20s that have stepped into their passion from reading this book during the beta version. And we have people in their late 60s that were just telling me today, actually yesterday, last night, I got an email and this guy is in his 60s and he's like, thank you. I've now found my passion. Like, this is what this book is all about. We are going to transform lives, and that is our goal. So if you have any questions for us, let us know in the comments. I'm scrolling through in the back.
We have so many friends here. So great to see everyone.
We have so many people here. What?
Yeah, why don't you guys also let us know, like, from which country? Because I already see Lance from Australia and Peter from the UK. So share with us the country, the specific geographic location you're joining us live from. And yes, Julia mentioned, it has been quite a journey, and really, like, lifelong learning. Doesn't matter how old you are, how young you are, and this is a really tested and proven way for you to learn some real life digital skill to create a fulfilling and profitable career. So really excited. Yeah. So Julia, maybe as people are sharing their questions, and so make sure you use the hashtag skip the degree so that we can find you and give you the swag. So maybe we can share with people some of the stories that we featured in the book. And some of you are already here.
Yes. Amazing. Well, look at this. So Sebastian Rusk is one of the people in our books and in our book. And we have so many amazing people. We have over 50 people that joined us. Elizabeth, one of our beta readers, she's in Austin. So Sebastian's story is amazing. He is walking in his passion. He's one of those people that has found their passion, is walking in it every day. Can you tell I'm excited? Like, words don't work. This is me when I'm excited. And that's what this book is all about. It's about shedding traditionalism, and stepping outside of the boxes that our society has created. Because look at me, I failed college twice. That sounds terrible, right? But today, I have a 7-figure business that is based on this digital skill set that I built myself. No one taught me how to build this. I just followed my passion, which was writing, and I stepped into it. I Googled how to make money writing. That was the beginning of everything. And then from there, it was just the pathway I teach in the book, the 4 L's, right? Find out what you love doing, learn all you can about it, labor, get your hands dirty, work, and then level up. Get paid more, do more, grow everything you do. And as you grow, it kind of becomes like the best analogy I can think of these days. Here's Brittany Harris, another person in our book. Here is Eric Peterson, another person in our book. Chris Bryant, another person in our book.
And we're interviewing, sorry to interrupt you, Julia, we're interviewing many of those people who are here on my live streaming show. So definitely check them out.
Yes, absolutely. Follow Dr. I's Facebook page, Dr. I Addison Zhang, digital learning, storytelling, and catch her live shows, because we are interviewing all of these amazing people that we talked about in our book. And these people, not just, here's Katie, another person. These people didn't just give us a sentence or two. These people gave us stories, and their stories are amazing. They're about them stepping into doing what they love to do. So the box, like stepping out of the box that traditionalism created, and society and our education system kind of puts our young people in. I've been doing what I've been doing for 10 years, and everything I do, I've started to see it as like this tree that grows. And as you learn something new, as you grow, it's like a new branch. So instead of like, oh, she does so much, which I used to get, now I start to celebrate what I do. And I've learned, delegation, all the things you need to learn to not burn out, which, by the way, I've started book number 5, and it may or may not be on that topic. You heard it here first. So here's a good question from Chris. How did we meet? Dr. I, tell the story.
We never actually met in person, which is hard to believe. My husband, he was asking me this question. He said that, wow, have you and Julia ever met in person? I said, never. So we actually met on her Twitter chat I don't even know, a few years ago. So I think at the time you were talking about writing a book or something. And
2016.
which is hard to believe. I give you some inspiration. I was like, yeah, go for it and write the book. And I think that's our very first initial interaction through your Twitter chat, right?
Yes.
And then I just remember, like, after that, and maybe a few weeks or a few months later, and I got a DM from you on Twitter, and you said that, hey, lady, you inspired me to write a book or something. I was like, what?
Yes.
Me? Hard to believe. So I invited you to come to my live streaming show at least two or three times already. I don't even remember. So that's really how we met. Yeah.
Yes, exactly that. It was years and years ago, which is funny because I feel like I started in 2011, but I really got honed in on Twitter in 2016. So you were like one of my first Twitter connections. And I was like, oh, who is this? I thought you were like, looking at your profile picture, I thought you were like 18.
Oh,
I was like, who's this college student?
I tried to catch up with you because you were so much younger than me, but thank you. Yeah.
And we connected, and it was like, we were like-minded from the start. You're one of the most authentic people I know.
Yeah, I think at the time I haven't resigned yet. I was still in the system, but I already started to see signs. I think I was on the edge of saying goodbye to my associate professor position, but I haven't fully resigned yet. But I think for this book, was last year, maybe sometime in March or so, you came to my show. We were talking about, is today's college degree still the golden ticket to career and life success? And you said something which is really remarkable. You said that, like, for students who are actually graduating with the writing, with the literature degree, they are less hireable compared to the people who are not graduating from those degrees and people who are actually self-taught. And so that actually sparked a conversation talking about education. And then you told me about this book. I think that's how this got started.
Wow. Yes, I agree. That's what it comes down to. And we have a blog out. Let me get the URL for you guys, where I talk about Dr. I, what she has done in education, and then my perspective. I'm going to give you the URL. There's one on Express Writers as well. We should have made a shorter URL here. But if you go to contenthacker.com/blog, you'll see it. And I'm creating a quick banner. This is the story behind, this is the story behind the launch today. So if you go to Content Hacker, I'll just say contenthacker.com/blog, because that's a little bit easier. So I have this perspective of seeing everything from hiring people, because we hire nonstop at Express Writers, my writing agency. We handle over 300 projects a month. So I had this perspective of, 10 years now hiring writers. And the unfortunate truth is we cannot hire writers that come from academia unless they've been untrained in that skill set, because they come out of college not knowing online writing. So Dr. I think you had invited me to your show, and that's like for the fourth or fifth, whatever time. And we talked about it. And this was like early last year. And I was like, man, I'm writing this book. This is the perspective I have, and there needs to be a solution. And I knew I was undertaking something dramatic, and I was a little worried. And you were like, I have all the studies as to why education is broken. I have all the data. I've collected it for 10 years. So I was like, okay, why not write chapter 1? And that was how it happened. So it was extremely natural. And, we were talking about how we met through Twitter. We both see the importance of the digital landscape because it created this friendship. Like, the digital landscape is amazing. I know there's like a lot of hate for it today, but you can use it for so much good. Mm-hmm. And I mean, this is how I created my $1 million business, using the digital world.
Yeah.
So that's what we talk about in our book.
I mean, like speaking of which, I have so much to say about this. It is so sad. Like today's young people, they're only using digital media mainly as a way to be entertained or to consume. So few of them are actually having the skills that we have, Julia. That's why I think this book is so handy. And I work with many schools. I know they completely ban. I mean, I can understand they ban like Facebook, right? But they completely ban like Twitter and LinkedIn, like, like, so where on earth are the young people and even college or high school students, are they going to learn these digital skills? So totally, without social media, we wouldn't meet and have this amazing friendship. Yeah. Over the years. Yeah.
Yes. Yes. 100%.
Yeah, I also love what you mentioned earlier, Julia, like this self-taught, and reminds me of, you and I were going to interview Shay Rowbottom this Friday.
Yes. She's amazing.
And she is such an amazing lady. And she shared in our book, in the story, that she actually prefers to hire videographers who are actually self-taught compared to like film major students. I was like, wow, which really resonates with what you have been sharing for so many years. Yeah, maybe we can even share. Do you think we can share our screen and to show people the list of featured authors and share the website?
Yes, that's a great idea. Let me go there now, and then I will share my screen. I love that.
Yeah, because our book has already 300 pages. So we decided to have like an online section to cover all the people who are featured in our book. You guys should definitely go online and check out the featured authors.
Yes. SaveTheTuition.com/featured-experts. These are all the people that contributed original stories. We had a personal conversation with all of them about these stories that they contributed. Some of them are my friends from way back, like Jeff Dwitch. And then some of them, Dr. I also knew from way back. And, for example, let's take Jeff's story, right? So he actually came out of a really crazy. He had a skill set that he learned to do himself. It wasn't a good skill set, and he actually turned it around, and now he's a well-known growth hacker. So at the early onset of SEO, way back in the beginning, he was making, I think it was $50,000 a week doing black hat SEO. He lost that. He lost the entire income stream in a matter of like one day, when Google's algorithm rolled out that came down on black hat SEO. In 2011, I definitely saw black hat SEO. It was mostly like building links, link farms, creating really crappy content just to get in the first page of Google. You could gamify Google back then very, very easily. But he came back from that. And that's a powerful story. I knew that story. I read it on HubSpot. It went viral when he launched it back on Inbound, an Inbound site that I think has been renamed since. It went viral. Like he had Rand Fishkin talking about his story when it came out years ago. So, last year I was like, let's publish your story. And so we did. So all of these stories are truly unique and incredible. You're going to get so much inspiration. Angela Furr, she's someone that Dr. I just interviewed on her show as a follow-up conversation. And she's going to earn more than $1 million in revenue teaching watercolor online. Like, what? This should inspire you guys to really chase your dreams. And that.
Yeah, and can I add another sentence about Angela? She is only a high school graduate. She's only a high school graduate, and it's just like really remarkable story. And in my interview with her, we also talked about the broken education model. She actually homeschooled her 3 kids for quite a few years, 8 or so years. Really remarkable story. So yeah, definitely, yeah.
Amazing. Yeah. And you just interviewed Jacob McMillan as well. He and I have partnered on a couple different things like launches. And I think, what's funny? He recently tweeted, and he's completely self-taught. He just learned how to do the stock market. And this week or last week, he made $20,000 in a day on the stock market, and then $20,000 in a day doing courses. So we should say $40,000 per day.
That's right. That's right.
Update this. So these people are rock stars. They're
And
the true model for our book.
for Jacob, it's so fascinating. He said that when he was in school, he actually hated writing. He also hated 90% of the books that his literature teacher asked him to read. But now look at him. He's pursuing copywriting as a career. So really, really incredible, from hating to having, cultivating his real passion for this incredible career. I was so inspired by him. Yeah.
Yes, amazing. Really quick, my friend Alexandra Marshall, she is in the book, as well as Katie. Looks like they just connected. So Alexandra is in Canada living with her boyfriend, I think temporarily. Katie, you and Alexandra should connect. You two should have tea or coffee or something, and then tweet a picture. You gotta do it. That would be amazing. You two would have so much in common. And you guys, if you're watching this and you have questions for us, drop them in the comments. Chris asked how we met. We loved that. That was a good question to talk through, because I don't think we've really talked through that one before.
No,
we've done a lot together, and
we're like besties, right?
Yes,
and
we're
also
online besties.
I love it. And also, as you were sharing, there's another guy I just interviewed, Josiah Tong, and I just interviewed him. And you guys won't even believe this. He has only an 8th grade education, right, Julia?
Yes.
But he's self-made multimillionaire. And he said that in our interview, he said that I'm so thankful for my lack of formal education.
Amazing. Yeah, let's find his story and talk through it. Okay, Josiah Town. Yes, and his story, so we have a few of these. His story has never been published before. And he was telling me, he believed God saved it for a reason. And this is like his debut online, which is so cool. He's a self-made success story. And what's amazing is what Dr. I just said. He doesn't even have a high school diploma. He doesn't even have a college degree. And by the way, Elon Musk said you don't have to have a GED to work for him. So just saying, that could be, that could be thrown out more and more as time goes on. But he's thankful for his lack of education because it forced him to think outside the box and take risks. I so agree with that. And most of you may know watching this that I grew up in a fundamentalist cult. It was very abusive. It was terrible. I'm not glad necessarily I was born into it, but one thing I got was a homeschool education. And I was afraid of homeschooling. I have a 6-year-old because of what I went through, but now I will probably be homeschooling her in the next 1 to 2 years because of this. In school, there is a temptation because of the way the system's set up. And we talk about this in the book, guys. You have to read the book. It's going to be you're going to get life-changing insights. But this is why you think inside the box when you are raised up in the traditional school environment. Your creativity is kind of squashed. I saw it happen in kindergarten, Dr. I. My kid had this teacher who was, just a regimist. You must do this by the minute and this. And her creativity was lost. And that was just really sad to see. And thankfully, we got her a new teacher, and the teacher's amazing. A lot of it does come down to the teacher, but that's what we're trying to do in this book, is share these stories, spread the awareness, do something at the grassroots level where people start to think differently. And the requirement for a degree isn't necessary anymore. It's not necessary to success. And look at this, guys. We have some people that have degrees. Dr. Natalia.
Doctors here. Dr. Natalia is my new friend.
And she's a doctor. And then we have...
who are so anti-education. Yeah.
Yes. So it's really not, if you have a degree, don't feel bad. I'm going to say that, don't feel bad. We're not necessarily trying to attack the degree. We're trying to create this bigger awareness of what you can do without it. You don't have to have it to be successful. And all of these stories are amazing. And Katie has been watching our live, sharing She's such an amazing person. And her story is right here on our site. Look at this, entrepreneurial blood much. I love that. So she's done so much. She is kind of a growth hacker in and of herself. I would call you that, Katie. But you guys, you have to go to our site, savethetuition.com, and read these stories. Go to the header and look at featured experts. You can get to it under authors, or you can just go to the homepage, scroll down, and then click learn more about the featured experts. Because we are just so excited to have their stories in our book and on the site. And if they were all in the book, it would be, we'd have a 1,500 page book. So that's why they are on the site. Nathan, our 8-year-old, is already planning business ideas. Wow, that's amazing. I love hearing that.
Yeah, I think he's 8 years old should meet my 9 years old for sure.
Yes, your 9-year-old. He's amazing.
I mean, like you were talking about
on eBay.
Yeah, selling stuff on eBay. He's working on like an ebook right now, inspired by you. And he's working on an ebook. I mean, like it is so incredible that we started homeschooling with a specific curriculum, but now it's much more freer. And like it is so fascinating how much children want to learn, just like intrinsic desire to learn. It is unfortunate the formal education kills that. But if you don't have that structured environment, my kid, like one day he's like learning about nuclear war, and he's like doing a like Canva slide presentation. He's using Loom. He's learning video editing. I didn't force him to do anything. He's completely self-driven. He present his ideas to us, and we just like Google it and YouTube it and search it. I'm more so a facilitator. It is incredible. Yeah. And I think our book can inspire so many. So if you guys have like young people who are struggling to fit into the system, and
that wasn't good. Keep going.
So our book can be such a almost like a Bible for the young kids, like to figure out a pathway, especially those who are struggling to fit into the system, can show them an alternative that is as legit as, if not better, than the traditional path.
Yes, 100%. I think this is someone in your connections, Dr. I.
Yeah,
what a
nice
comment.
India.
I love it.
I love it. Thank you so much for being here. Yeah. It's like, again, the digital connection. I think many parents, have, and many schools have this uneducated fear when it comes to social media, putting yourself out there. And I think this book can also benefit lots of teachers, to be honest, right? So they can learn this so that they can, relay the knowledge to their students.
Yes, 100%. And I'm going to give you guys a shout out. If you know of any institution, any place where you either have a connection or you can just show up with a box of books, like send us an email. And you can do this by going to savethetuition.com and then look at contact in the header. So you can contact us through the site and request a box of books, and I'll ship it to you at cost, which is like, I think $7 a book. So if you want to help us get this in places, think about where we can get this. Like, I'm definitely going to show up with a few box of books at different places, because here in Austin, we have a very open-minded community, different libraries, institutions, places. I've been spreading out the bookmarks. It's amazing, the reception for this book so far. I picked up the flowers. You might be able, my lighting is not great today, but there's flowers behind my head. And when I picked up that order of my flowers and the balloons, both people that worked at the florist department asked about the book because they heard it was for a book launch. I told them the name Skip the Degree, and their eyes lit up. And both of them were like, where can I get this book? And one of them told me she was a parent and she really needed it for her kid. Like, her kid needed this. The other one was a college student who was like, I'm getting pressure from my mom to go to college, but I don't even like high school.
I mean, like, it's so common. Like, sorry to interrupt you, Julia, but I just like I shared this study so many times. Last year, there was a big, hey, Elizabeth, there was a big Yale study that came out. They surveyed 22,000 US high school students. 75% of US high school students feel very negative about their high school experience. So I have taught like 3,000 students. I have never met one student who can honestly say, Dr. I love school. I have never met one. So prove me wrong. If anyone in the live audience, prove me wrong. But it is just so unfortunate, right? Like, so this book will rekindle their passion, desire for learning, and show them either pathway that they can make this work, as opposed to, even after I got my PhD, I realized that I learned only theories that I can really apply, but this is beyond theories, more real life applications. Yeah.
What is that word? You shared it with me. This is how I know about it from you, because you and I message all the time. Perishable. I love that word because it's true.
Yeah. So perishable skills. Now hard skills, the skills that your children, my children, and us, when we were a student, we're learning at school, those hard skills are now being called perishable skills. Maybe a year or two out of date. But the soft skills are now called durable skills. They last forever. I mean, like another Harvard study said that 85% of a person's career achievement comes from soft skills. That's 85%. But when you look at school, most children are only learning the 15%. Yeah, that's why I love Julia talks about love, mindset, all those things. And even that's something I also cover at my school. It is so important to cultivate those soft, durable skills.
Look at that. Katie is living proof with her degree from 2002. Oh my gosh. The internet was, it was around then, but was it? Yeah. See, I was 7 when we hooked up to the internet for the first time. So it's funny. I am like this in between where I remember the dial-up modem, but things have changed so dramatically. I'm teaching, Katie is in my Content Hacker Academy. She's amazing. She has kind of reinvented herself and is now stepping into her calling, which is financial coaching, with a unique angle to bring couples together. And it has been amazing to witness her journey and how she's shining today doing this, but like, you're not learning these things in college. And what's interesting, my husband and I were sitting down at dinner and I was telling him, wouldn't it be amazing if what's in the book is one day taught in college? And think about the book. Like the first thing we teach you in the book, after Dr. I brings in the data, the first thing we teach you is find out what you love doing. And guess what? You don't do that by learning a set of theories. You do that by sitting down and taking a personality test. What if we had our kids learn who they are and take a personality test and find out, okay, I'm a creative introvert, I'm a sales-driven extrovert, like all these things that, our team at Express Writers is an example of this. We've mashed up people that are really good at unique tasks because of their personality. That's the first thing we teach in the book, is that love, that first L. And you have to read the book to see it all happen in the pathway. But what Katie says is so true, that I'm hearing this from everyone I talk to about this book. Nothing they learned is relevant today. And then we've had people say the only thing they got out of college, the people that did say, yeah, college was not a total waste of time, the only thing they got was not in the classroom. What they got was the connections and the networking from like the parties afterwards. So that is crazy. It's just,
but you really have to question that, Julie. Like nowadays, do you have to spend 4 years in college to get those connections? And even Simon Sinek, he recently did a video talking about college degree. Even he said in the video, the subject matters that you are learning in school are irrelevant. Even he said that. But he said that the real value of a college degree is actually the human connections. But my question is that, do you have to go to a school to get those connections, right? Look at you and me, like and many people here, perfect example. I know quite a few of you, but we never connect in person. Yeah, you don't have, I feel like you don't have to spend like 4 years. And plus, when you are in a college, is limited to a specific geographic location, right? You and I would still never meet. When we met, I was still in South Korea.
Yes, exactly. And, the same applies like what we were talking about at the beginning. You have this amazing perspective on education, and then I have this perspective from hiring people. The same thing applies in hiring. You can't, if you're stuck to a location, it's amazing what going virtual did. It flooded the market with people that can now work from home anywhere. But the problem is this skill set. We have people that are relying on their degree, hoping to get a writing job. And we have to say, we can't give you paying work because that essay writing doesn't work in online content. You have to go unlearn that first. And that's one reason we launched this book, is to help this. I was going to leisurely write it. And then last year hit and I was like, oh, we have to escalate this book. This has to get out now because of what's happening with the virtual workplace from the pandemic. I think it's over 80% of organizations now allow their team to work from home. So like learning digital skills and doing it, I love what Elizabeth Dodd says. She took my content strategy and marketing course, and I saw her go through the course really thinking for herself. And that in and of itself, that's a soft skill, like Dr. I was saying, that has now become the new hard skill, like learning how to think for yourself. So I like how she ended that. Go figure, we have to learn to think for ourselves. Like, who knew? It is that simple and that hard. And guys, keep sharing the book. A few of you have mentioned that you are. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. We are going to pick 6 winners Friday to get a mug and a signed copy. Peter is like, how do I drink my coffee without this mug?
Yeah,
my coffee is extra good today.
I think, definitely exciting. So Julia will send out 3 copies and I will send out 3 copies. Super excited. So for the copies I send, I'm also going to include my own mug, which is a Classroom Without Walls, shares the same exact message as Skip the Degree, which I believe the best education happens outside the classroom. So I can't wait to send out a few copies and mugs, things like that. I think another inspiration, and I got from the book and from listening to people and interviewing people, is how many opportunities are out there for people who are looking for a job or even creating a job, right? So traditionally, when you go to a school, many students are thinking, be a lawyer or doctor or a failure, right? So very limited, only a few. But now in the book, you have like watercolor artists, you have copywriter. It really just opens your mind and opens your heart to all the possibilities that many school teachers probably don't even know that are actually very popular nowadays. So I think that is another huge inspiration coming out of the book. And I think can really inspire people to think about the unknown that you don't even know yet.
In the book, and I think it's the 3rd chapter, because the first chapter is yours. In the 2nd chapter, we bust all the myths of making money online. We bust the overnight YouTube sensation myth. We bust, we're trying to help parents teach their kid that being rich is not going to be an overnight thing. And that's why I made that the 2nd chapter, right after your chapter on what's wrong with education and why it needs to change. And then the 3rd chapter, we found, and we took weeks to research this, we put together a list of over, I think it's 50 to 55 different groups of jobs that you can do digitally. And the things we found that you can make money doing, it was like, one thing is, it was like a sales data entry position for an extrovert that had this weird title, but you can get paid really well doing it. Like, what? So you're right. I think educators don't even know these opportunities exist. And, I don't blame them. I think some of it is how they were put through the system as well. Here's a really good question from Enrique. Do you think Skip the Degree can help those who went to college and after some years want to change careers? So in the Amazon description and the site, we say this is also for career dropouts. That is the people I reach in my courses, like Nita, Katie. They are reinventing themselves after maybe, a decade, 2 decades, not doing what they love, but getting paid very well, succeeding, but they just didn't love it. So those people I mentor and help in the Content Hacker Academy. And this book is also for those people. So it's not just for the college age kid, although it is, and it's not just for their parent, it is, but it's also for the career dropout, the person who is looking to reinvent themselves. And what's really cool is among beta readers, we've had feedback from all those groups of people. And the 65-year-old that I was talking about at the beginning of this live stream, he's like, for the first time, I have a pulse on my passion. And this book led me there. And then we had a 20-year-old who was like, said the same thing. And so it's amazing because, I believe the truth is it's never too late to find out what you love doing. I mean, look at me, I'm 30, right? But I found out what I love doing early. I was one of those people that definitely my circumstances played in. I had to find my passion. It was my life. It was my mental health because I grew up in a cult. So that pushed me to find my passion earlier than most people. And then Dr. I had a wake-up call.
In my mid-age crisis, right? Like around 35-ish, I really started to ask myself, is this my life? Which was so predictable to me at the time. Like, is this how I'm going to live the rest of my life? And the answer is no. So I became a career, as you said, Julia, dropout, started to reinvent myself. That's why I feel like the book, the chapters you wrote resonated so much with me also as someone who has recently reinvented her career, for sure. Yeah.
Yes.
I mean, I never thought that I could start my own school, start my own classroom teaching outside the physical walls and influencing students from all over the globe. It is such a joy. And the best part is I can design my curriculum without all the committees watching me, supervising me. I can add a section on mindset. I can add a section on brain science, all those things that I wasn't able to do teaching within the rubric. Yeah.
Yes. There's so much, guys. We could keep going. Just get the book already. A lot of you have. Thank you so much. Lance has been sharing it all over.
You are amazing, Liz. Oh my God. Thank you so much. Based in Australia. We need everyone in Australia get a copy of our book.
I think someone said,
Liz. You are such a dear friend. Yeah.
Yeah, he's amazing. Someone said the hard copy was not available in their location yet. So that's interesting. So the hardcover, it's a beta feature on Amazon that just launched a week ago. They didn't ever publish hardcovers. They connected to a third-party solution. So now Amazon KDP directly offers hardcover, but I think it's still rolling out. And that's why if you don't see the hardcover in your location, it's because it's a brand new service that I can't believe opened up to us 4 days before our launch. I was up so late. I was emailing the designer. I'll probably pay her a bonus. I was like, can you reformat this book for this too? For this too? Oh, now we have a hardcover. Can we get it done in time? And we did. All these things happen. It was meant to happen.
Perfect timing. Yeah. I think Pooja was asking if she can see the hard copy in India. I'm not sure. Probably have to wait for a few weeks or so.
Christy, okay, I have to share this, and I will in our excuse me, I'm too excited here, in our event. But she made this incredible book cake. It's upstairs, and she literally created pages that have the content on them. Like you can read the book, and it's a cake. What? She's amazing. So go follow her company, Cakes Rock, and we're going to feature her on the site as well. I've already invited her to do an interview. She just celebrated her birthday, and she's been busy like crazy. So, no pressure, Christy, no pressure at all, even though I gave you that shout out that you will be doing it. But I love what she said, that she did what she loved as a hobby for over 30 years and made it her own business 8 years ago at age 44. That's amazing. And her page, Cakes Rock, is doing really, really well. I was amazed at the engagement she's getting, mostly because of how artistic her work is. Like, Christy, would you say this is your talent? Because I would say it is, just from what I've seen you create and how excited you were telling me about the techniques you use to make my cake. So that's part of it. When you find your passion, your eyes light up. And you're excited to try new things doing it. And that's so important. If you don't have that, Go read the book.
Yeah, that's why I love the chapter you cover. This, it is such an inside out journey. It is such an inside out journey, right? The more you transform the inside, the more we transform the outside. I'm definitely going to check out Christian, maybe even interview her on my show. Such a incredible story. And going back to education, it is so unfortunate that many people choose a career like Jacob Macmillan. When I interviewed him, I think his major was accounting. When he was a student, he chose that because it is perceived as being prestigious. Like so many people choose a career because of the ranking and the prestige. So few people are actually going within to ask themselves, what is something that I'm passionate about? What is something I'm so good at, right? This inner search for meaning. And so check out the book. And Julia has an entire chapter on that, which is really powerful.
Yes. And I don't think we mentioned yet, but something else we pulled off, we've been sharing it in this book banner the whole time, is a swag shop. And a huge shout out to my husband. He got this t-shirt shop all done in time. Crazy. He put in like 2 10-hour days and busted through it all. I was like, can we get t-shirts live by launch day? Probably like a few days before launched. But we had the designs. We had been sitting on the designs for a while. So we edited the designs a little bit and worked on that. And then we got it live. So you can actually go buy Dropout t-shirts at savethetuition.com/shop and wear that, promote that. It doesn't just say Dropout, but we also have t-shirts that say create a life you love, self-created, entrepreneur, the same things that are on the mugs, which are not available in the shop yet, but will be in the weeks to come. These are our giveaways. We're giving away a mug for sharing, as a thank you for you sharing our book. Use the hashtag skip the degree when you share the book. But yes, so you can get those t-shirts now. We don't have any to give away today because they didn't come in time. Like we literally just put that t-shirt shop together. But I love the designs. I've already ordered a few to wear myself because I think it's amazing that we can, kind of bust through so many myths and shed this light on a pathway that, Katie summed it up. Work that we enjoy. It's going to equal a nation full of people living in their talents. Can you imagine that many people doing what they love? Like that is, and the gifts that you contribute to the world. If you step into your gifts, it's amazing to see what happens. And we talked about this earlier, but, I used to have people that said, oh, Julia, another book, another this, another that. And they were like, they were a little worried for my health. And I would be like, yeah, I know I'm busy. I do a lot. But now my answer is I see myself as this flower that continues to grow and continues to, the word would be bear fruit. Like as you grow in what you love doing, it's natural to launch another shoot, to launch another branch, another leaf. So that is how I see it today. Whenever you step into what you love doing, it's amazing. And Elizabeth said, where are my fellow introverts? I'm an introvert. I think you're an extrovert.
I am.
I love it because my husband's an extrovert and those people I partner with.
My husband's an introvert.
How funny. It's opposite in my house.
I think it's too crazy to have two people like that every day in the house. That's basically too much, right? Yeah.
Yes.
I also want to follow up on what you mentioned earlier, Julia. So many people, there was a Gallup study that said that recently they interviewed 1 billion full-time workers, and 85% of people hate their jobs. 85. And now when I talk to my friends who are still teaching in the system, I don't think any of them is happy, but they just think that as the default, the status quo, right? They don't even see any alternatives. So it's really powerful that our book is introducing this powerful alternative so that we can end up being the 15% as opposed to the 85%, which I used to be.
Yes. It's so crazy. Yeah. And how few people know that. I think when you were sharing with me all of these statistics that are in the first chapter of the book in a really I was telling a few friends, it's like, it feels like it is the first place that exists where that much data around education and how it actually affects the well-being of our kids. It's like, finally, it's even better than an article because it's pages and pages in one chapter that, you and I have worked so hard to put this book together, multiple editing rounds, including my agency editor. He's amazing at Express Writers. And so like what we have in this book is the best data on these points. And I think it was Katie saying she's giving a copy to her kids' teachers. We will never blame a teacher. Like, I've met amazing teachers, but the problem is many of them are not even aware. They're not even aware of what school is doing to our kids, because like, this isn't mainline news. You're not going to see a headline that says how much school negatively affects. Well, actually on Forbes, there has been a few headlines. So that's starting to change. I think the digital impact of the pandemic has started to really shake things up. So that's why now is a perfect time for this kind of a book, because if you're stuck in a place where you don't know how to achieve your dreams, you don't know how to uncover what you love doing, this book is the tool that you can pick up and learn how to do that. And I want to remind you guys, if you share the book with the hashtag skip the degree, you will be entered to win a free mug and a signed copy. I love it. And a signed copy of our book. And 3 are going to go out from me and 3 from Dr. I. So we are super excited to share that with you. And then, of course, you can shop the t-shirt swag if you're just joining us at the URL savethetuition.com/shop. And I want to remind you as well, so we have about 10 minutes left. If you have any questions for us, let us know. We'd love to answer your questions about the book. And if you've read the book, I'm also going to ask a quick shout out. I've been posting in our launch team. Don't forget to review the book. The reviews are the #1 reason why books climb the algorithm. It's literally the #1 reason. So if you haven't reviewed it and you've read it, previewed it, you like the mission, help us spread the word of this book. Help us tell Amazon that this is an important book. Because like we said at the beginning, this is not me. This is we, all of us. Dr. I, my friend, all of you watching, you are a part of this. This is a grassroots mission to change education and to impact lives. Like, we really believe in this. I'm sure you can tell by now. So Katie said, I know amazing teachers. Our kids have had some are not a fit. And during this season, it's time to flip the lens that we're looking through. The Europeans have been doing it forever with child-led learning. Yes, the Europeans have. Oh gosh, I was looking at their schools last year. When Jaina was a baby, we actually thought of moving to Thailand because we were studying their daycares. And we were like, they take the kids outside and they teach them lessons like using the dirt. And it was like really cool what we were learning, what they do in other countries. Like, why can't they do that here? And in Austin, they're actually starting to do it here in Austin, Texas. But, that's a really great point, Katie. What would you add to that, Dr. I?
I mean, I have so much to say about this. And just like in the US, even the way that we're evaluating our students is very wrong, right? We give them grade. And so much research has shown, like, for example, I mentioned this in the book, that children who are actually attending high achieving schools, they're actually having more mental health, like drug abuse, alcohol abuse, sexual abuse. They're having more issues compared to kids who are actually going to just an average public school. And even worse, those kids who attend a high achieving school, their situation is as if there are other children who grow up in poverty, in foster care, and who have parents in prison. That's how bad the situation is. But whereas my teachers, every time I have to laugh at this when I saw someone on LinkedIn, their entire organization specialized in getting kids into an Ivy League school. I'm not against Ivy League school, but many of those high achieving schools are giving our children unnecessary stress. Mm-hmm. And so that is really like, I love the education model in like many European countries, Finland is a great example. They don't, even their teachers do not have ranking system. Like for me, I have to go through assistant, associate, and teachers don't have that. So everyone's teaching, everyone's learning for the joy of learning. They don't have homework, they don't have grade. It is a fascinating system, but I don't think we are going to have that in the US anytime soon. And so
Eric asked, let me answer his question real quick. Yes. So the reviews, like we were saying, is the number one ranking algorithm factor on Amazon. Yes, go post a review on Amazon. And since we're out today, you will be able to post it. I love the sound effect. I think like yesterday you couldn't because it was pre-order. So the whole like Amazon listing, you can now hit review and go review the book. And this link, bit.ly/skip-the-degree, that goes straight to the Amazon listing. Yeah. So the more reviews we have, if you've previewed it, you love this mission. This is a heart-based mission. We've put so much into it. And our goal is to really change the world for our kids, career dropouts, parents, the next generation. So go review it. If you have anything to say on it that, is honest, we definitely want a perspective that comes from you understand the book, the mission.
Do you also want to share the membership site, Julia?
Yes, let's do it. Before we do that, here, Katie has a question real quick. Can we post a review if we haven't? Yes, you will still be able to post a review if you haven't purchased it. But what we recommend is if you can buy the $2 Amazon Kindle version. And then what that does is that makes your review verified whenever you post it. So a verified review sticks longer. Most of the reviews that I have seen post without the verified, they stay. So I think you could be okay doing it, but that's just a little extra. Just spending that $2 to verify will definitely get your review to stick. And we're going to go through the reviews in the next week and pull out some quotes and feature that with your name in the Amazon description and what you do to give you a little shout out as a thank you. So guys, go review it. And thank you so much. Like we are here because of you all. We really are. Peter has a good question. Whose idea was it? I think he's referring to, obviously the book, right? It's the book. So whose idea was it?
Your idea, yeah.
I don't think Peter was here when we were talking about how it happened. And the story of this is on contenthacker.com/blog. But if you go look at the pen post there, we talk about how we both just naturally fell into this idea. And I did it because, I've been teaching on this for a while, hosting workshops, teaching courses, but we need something that's ground floor level that everybody can pick up for $2 on Kindle, for $15 on paperback. It's $30 or less on hardback. You can pick this up, read it, and have an actual pathway to a digital skill set that makes money. Because I was telling a friend, I feel selfish because we couldn't hire writers. And that's really where this came from. At Express Writers, my agency, we do so much content and we always need writers. But the writers coming in, especially over the pandemic that flooded the market, they did not have real life skills. They did not have online content skills. So it was critical to do something fast. And I was like, I've launched a writing course, several writing courses, but I need to make something that you can go through in a weekend that is going to change your life. So that's what we did with Skip the Degree. And I'm not, by any means, I'm not saying don't get a course. In the book, we recommend, in the second L, learn, we recommend a mentor instead of a professor. Go get a real life mentor. I've done it. I've spent thousands of dollars. Your life will change. Your life will change under a mentor that is actually doing the thing that you want to do. So we can't, I can't recommend that enough. Peter said, whose idea was the balloons? So yeah, the book came from me, but Dr. We were on a call and I was like, I have this book, I'm writing it. It's a giant undertaking. The data is going to take a long time to put together. I don't really know why school is wrong, but I know it's not working. And she's like, I have 10 years of this data. And that's why I invited her to write the first chapter. And the first chapter, the way she opens it, it's funny because I am the SEO content person, but she's the one in the first chapter telling you to Google a search phrase. And I love it. Like that just proves how digitally savvy you are, as a professor dropout. So that is a story, Peter. That is a story. And I know we're down to the last few minutes here, and I just want to remind you guys, share the book, use the hashtag skip the degree. We're going to be looking for your shares. We're going to be looking for that hashtag on all the platforms, picking out 6 winners on Friday for a free mug and a free signed copy. What a way to celebrate a birthday. Oh my gosh. Like, this is amazing. And what else? What else should we add? Anything we should end on? Peter said the rattle.
Even this one, I went to at least 3 stores, took out this within the sports section. It was hard.
Peter, she worked so hard on that.
I know.
How should we end on this? Maybe you guys can tell us. Do you have like a final question, a final thought for us? And my final thought to you guys is don't forget to review this book. I think a few of you are right now. Thank you so, so much. This is the #1 ranking algorithm in Amazon. So that will help this book get found. Amazon will start recommending it to people that are reading education books. And I do believe we are #1 in 2 categories. Still amazing. What? And Alexandra says, you both are such inspirations. Her story is awesome, guys. It's on savethetuition.com. She is someone, she's in her, yes, absolutely. She's in her early 20s and she's really stepped into her passion, and she's doing it like without college, and her friends in college are like, how did you do what you did? Can we do that too? She's very smart. She's already an executive. But all these people in our book, like, we have amazing people, amazing stories. This truly isn't me. This is we. Katie asks, maybe we both can answer this. So what is your BHOG with this book? And that is an acronym I love and use from Jim Collins. Good to Great, Built to Last. He wrote those books. BHOG stands for Big, Hairy, Audacious Goal. So my BHOG with this book would be to change the way education is perceived. Mm-hmm. We don't need to go to college to be a success. In fact, maybe we need to start by finding our passion. Like, what if that is how kids begin their journey into their 20s, their 30s, their 40s? Like, instead of, I don't know what degree I should get, which I hear all the time, by the way, I'm confused. I don't know what degree to get. Maybe I'll pick this degree. Maybe I'll switch to this one. What if we started with our personalities and we uncovered who we are as a person and then map that to what we love doing? So that's my BHOG, that, hundreds of thousands, if not millions of kids in our next generation, especially before they get into the debt, before they get into the perishable skills that they may have to unlearn, like we do all the time in Express Writers, we have to unteach our candidates. What if, instead of stepping into that, they picked up this book and their lives were changed and they found their passion? So that is, Katie, you got the heart out of me. And how would you answer that, Dr. I?
I mean, very similar as a professor dropout, right? Like, I have so much to say about education, and just I resonate to everything that Julia mentioned. So I really want to awaken young people's heart and mind, right? And to really see alternatives and to question the value of a traditional college degree, and to not be so obedient, right? Like, when I hear parents, before I started to homeschool our kids, when I went to school to pick them up, all the parents are saying, listen to the teacher. I listen to the teacher. I mean, I will be the first person to tell you, to give you the permission. Don't always listen to the teacher. Question the teacher, right? You need to really shift your mindset from being this obedient person to actually a more like audacious, courageous person to cultivate that critical thinking skill, to think outside the box. So I think that's what this book is doing. And in my part, I did this like iceberg model, which is redesigned by Julia's team. I really love it. And so the tip of the iceberg is school-based learning. If we want our next generation to be future ready, life ready, career ready, we need an entire package, which is what we discussed in the book, on top of what a kid is learning from the traditional school environment. That is only 20%. But for way too long, so many parents and students are pursuing that 20% as if that was the entire 100%. But our book is your wake-up call, right? That is only 20%. And here are the 80% you need to do to have a fulfilling and profitable career.
Yes. What a great question from Katie. What a good thing. What a good thing to end on. We do have another really good question from Elizabeth. I can hang for a little bit longer. Are you okay, Dr. I?
Yeah.
Okay, let's do it. Let's do it. Keep sending questions, guys, because these are, let me make sure my computer is plugged in because I see, okay, very good. There we go. My husband was so kind. He like brought down all my cords for me. I just need to plug them in.
Husband of the Year award.
I know, right? I know. I wish he would be on video. He won't ever.
He's just the same as my husband. Oh my God.
How funny. So Elizabeth has a great question. What was the number one thing you learned from writing, publishing, and marketing this book? That is a really good question. You know, this is my fourth book, and I would say I'll start. My answer would be, with this one, I definitely learned quite a lot of different things in my last three. My first book was so hard. It was me up past midnight, making sure there were no typos, stressing out till the very day. All four of my books have made it to number one, but this is the first book ever that I've published and seen. I've never seen this happen either. That made it to number one in two releases. It made it to number one, new release in two different categories. 10 days before the launch. Like what? And then it's stuck there. And I do believe we are number one. I'll check after the live. You guys can tell me in the comments.
I checked yesterday, still number one.
No, in two different categories, adult and continuing education, and then job resumes, which is amazing. Like those categories, if people find this book, you know, it could change their lives. So what I learned from that was don't underestimate the power of a grassroots mission. You know, that's what this book is. This book is not me. It's the first book that's like, I am really letting go of myself. First of all, I'm giving away the most I've ever given away in a book. Like this is the pathway to digital skills. And then number two, I invited people to take over this book. And we have people named in this book in multiple places. We invited them to share their stories. And then Dr. I's name is on the book. She's my co-author. And doing that was a little scary at the beginning because I was like, you know, I use these books for sure to help me build authority and gain leads and prospects. And I was like, ooh, am I going to lose leads? And now I see like that was the stupidest thought. Like we're being vulnerable here. You know, you're going to have like those thoughts, the imposter syndrome and all of it. And now I'm like, that is the most ridiculous thing ever, because the more people you involve in your mission and you, especially something that's as heart-based as this one, it's going to go so much further. And the proof was we hit number one new release in two categories 8 days before launch. Like that was the proof. So involve people in your book. Don't hold back. Give away the authority. Give away the authority. Give the platform to them. And you are going to get back so much more. You know, so I would just say like letting go of ego. That would be how I would sum it up. Like really, this book is we and not me.
How That's what we see this as a movement, right, Julia? Not just like writing a book, but either being a part of or initiate this global movement, right? We are right now, even right now, we have a global audience. So yeah, this is my first book, so I feel really thankful for Julia for inviting me. I just my first book outside academia, which is so much more enjoyable to write than academia publications, because I can use my personal voice, you know. So I definitely learned a lot from her, especially on the marketing side and creating my very first author's page on Amazon. So that was really fascinating. I think for me, besides learning from Julia, my biggest learning point from this journey is how important it is to become a lifelong learner. My degree is actually in public relations, kind of marketing, social media. It's not in education, but really because of my passion for this broken education model and the audacious question I asked myself, do I want to be part of the problem or do I want to be part of the solution? Once I decided to be part of the solution, so fueled by that passion to be part of the solution, and I decided to learn. I recently shared on social media, and just the last 2 weeks, I don't even know, I read at least 30 or 40 books related to education, talking about the broken education model, talking about what it takes to raise future ready children. And I have learned so much besides my immediate, like vision, like a pigeonholed vision, my immediate discipline, but like being a lifelong learner has helped me so much. If I didn't have this body of knowledge outside my immediate discipline, I wouldn't be able to collaborate with Julia on this book to write that chapter, talking so much about education. So yeah, like being a lifelong learner, never stop learning. Learning doesn't only happen in the classroom, but actually outside the classroom.
Yes. Yes, 100%. That was such a good question. Elizabeth. Yes, I love that this is Dr. I's first book, and she now has an Amazon author profile, because it's like, that was due coming. About time.
You're writing a book a year. Now you inspired me to have another book. I don't think I can do every year, but another one. Yeah.
Oh, here's Marvin. We were talking about you, Marvin, at the beginning of the show. Your email to me was so kind. I read it to my husband last night. He's going to interview us in I believe it's a local Florida magazine. Yeah, very kind. He reached out, found our book, and he's currently reading it. I think he's 100 pages away from being done, and he was really, really enjoying it. So yeah, I'm looking forward to that as well, Marvin. That is awesome. Peter, you need the Audible version. We have, okay, guys, I don't think we said this yet. We have an Emmy award-winning narrator. What? Like, that actually happened. This person narrated our book. His name is Ben Hawk, and he infused so much like personality, inflection, drama. I was listening to it whenever he sent me the files, and I couldn't stop listening. It was like, oh wait, this is my book and I wrote it, but I'm enjoying listening to it. It's funny when you write a book, like you are done reading it at some point. All the edits and the work that I made, like your eyes are burning. That's how I say it at the end of the book writing journey. Peter, you need to listen to the Audible because it's amazing. I don't think it's out yet, available on the Amazon book page, but it is in the Amazon Audible store, but I don't think you can buy it yet, which means it's been approved and it should be out like any day now. So follow us, stay tuned to that page. And what I can do is maybe both you and I, Dr. I, we can send out an email and let everyone know when it comes out. So if you're signed up to both of our email lists, you will hear about it for sure.
There's a deadline. Yes.
My ears are much quicker than my eyes. Yes, several people have said that. And what's funny is I enjoy listening to it on Audible as well. So this particular narrator, he did an amazing job. Amazing job. So let's wrap up. Let's remind everyone we're doing a giveaway. Pooja, look at this comment, Dr. I
know she has been sending lots of sweet comments. I love her. Yeah, she's a bit younger than you. I think 19 or 18. So it's a young lady. I see her as a change maker in India. She has been watching so many of my shows, think outside the box all the time. So I love her. Yeah, amazing.
Wow.
Story.
And it can start there, right? It can start with our kids. Like, it's hard. And sometimes I'm like, why do kids have to be a voice? They should just be kids. But like, I saw my 6-year-old be a voice for change. She has spoken up on things she didn't agree with. And let me tell you, I encourage it. Just like Dr. I, you were saying, be audacious in the classroom. I love that. Like, it is, how are we going to change if none of us speak up? So Pooja, be encouraged, like keep plugging away, keep sharing these things. keep talking about passion-led careers. And I guarantee you, people will take you seriously at some point because they will be like, oh, she's not joking around.
Yeah, and also be the change you wish
Yes.
to see, right? Yeah.
People will see it and you will get recognized for it. It may just take a while. Lance has been listening to the Audible version in Australia. What?
Superstar, the best student, right? Superstar.
I didn't know it's out in Australia. That's amazing.
Seriously,
Okay,
every day when I wake up, check my social media, there are at least 10 notifications from Lance sharing our book. So thank you so much, my friend.
Yeah, he's amazing. He shared our blogs. We have blogs that were, someone helped me ghostwrite them. They are on savethetuition.com/blog that we put together that we reference in the book. And we wanted to create these living links on our website. So we have a ton of content on our blog at savethetuition.com, and Lance has been sharing it. And Chris, whose story is in the book and on our website, he concurs on Audible. Yes, it's such a great way to consume content. So here we go. We'll wrap up with this question. We talked about this at the beginning: perishable versus
Durable
soft skills, durable, that are not going to expire. And I think I'll let you answer this, Dr. I, in a minute. My perspective would be here that this perishable skills, this is really like the crux. This is the turning point of why we wrote this book and why this book matters right now. It's because the awareness that college may equal perishable skills. I've been seeing it for 10 years when we hire writers. They come out with essay writing knowledge, and that doesn't work in the online world. That has, in my opinion, that's been dead for 10 years. You can't take your essay writing skills and expect to convert an online reader. You can't. So the market needed to catch up. The education market needed to catch up. And this book, Skip the Degree, is going to be a catalyst, guys. And you reviewing it, sharing it is what is going to help it be the catalyst. Go out and change this. And so why don't you define and talk about perishable skills from your perspective? You taught students that didn't have real life skills.
Yeah, so pretty much perishable skills are just like a more accurate way to describe hard skills. Because when people think about hard skills, which sounds fancier, more important than soft skills. So finally, people are waking up, like some of the studies I shared earlier, 85% of a person's career achievement actually comes from soft skills. And people started to see that soft skills are actually the skills that help us become more successful in life. So there's kind of redefining the term. So perishable skills refer to the traditional hard skills, like the technical skills, the specific ones, in contrast to durable skills, which include soft skills such as people, emotional intelligence, creativity, and collaboration, and resilience, adaptability, all those kind of the human skills. I mean, I also read books talking about AI. So AI is going to replace many of the hard skills based jobs, but AI will not replace the passion-based, the emotion-based, the human, the softer-based skills. It's not going to, I mean, Julia, you talk about this, right? Even for SEO, you can use a robot to write, but like a human being will have the emotions. Even though we watch on TV that all the robots have emotions, it's not true. They don't feel bad about you. They don't feel happy for you. They're just there. But we are, we carry this human emotion and compassion. That's what it is, the biggest difference between hard and, soft and hard, perishable versus durable skills. I hope that answered the question.
Yes. Great question from Elijah. And Pooja wishes that this book will become more and more known. That's amazing, especially in India. That's really cool.
We're calling on you.
we can impact the world. Like you said, this is global, right?
That's right. Yeah. Hey, Pooja, we want you to send the book, spread the word to all of your friends in India. We are relying on you, my friend.
Yes, yes. And be encouraged. You are not alone. Like people that think differently, like you know, my 6-year-old came home yesterday. She's still in school. And it's really cool because I've enabled her to be a change maker and a voice. She came home from school the other day and she's like, this friend on the bus called me weird and different. And I'm like, Jaina, you need to celebrate that. Let me tell you, those are the kids that are going to make a difference. And I you know, she had a smile on her face. She was like, oh, I'm weird.
I love
But
that.
those are the kids, right? All the stories we have from our featured experts. Like that's their story. They were the weird people in high school that didn't fit in the box, fit the mold. They did something different. And sometimes they got punished for it, which is terrible. But those people today are amazing people. Like even Tony Robbins' story, J.K. Rowling, they came out of some really dark beginnings. I mean, I escaped a cult. So you can really do anything with your life and never think that being weird or being different is something that will be a roadblock. Instead, celebrate that. I'm going to give you the same
100%.
advice I gave my 6-year-old. Celebrate that. That is a reason that you will succeed. But let's wrap up. So quick reminder, you can win a coffee mug. Peter definitely needs to drink his coffee in this mug. You can win a signed copy of our book. Look at that amazing book. Bookmarks, which Dr. I has in the mug, and I have some somewhere around here. Bookmarks, postcards. I mean, we got all the book swag, guys. We really do. Look at this. And their face, like all the faces on the back came out so good.
I know.
That amazing people. So yes, we're giving away 6 boxes, book swag, a mug, signed copy, and you can win this by sharing it. It's going to be US, UK. Share it, use the hashtag skip the degree, and remember to review it if you've read any part of it and you have something to say, because this is the #1 ranking algorithm trigger in Amazon. And I can't thank you guys enough for being here. I mean, what a way to celebrate. You can't see the 3. That's a 3. You can't. Turning 30. I mean, this is amazing. Thank you guys for being here with us. And any last words, Dr. I?
No, yeah, the same. I share and leave us a review and check out the interviews that Julia and I have been doing with the people featured in our book. And so, yeah, and thank you so much.
Thank you so much, guys. Rich says, what a wonderful one. Amazing. All right, guys, we will see you around. Follow us on Facebook, catch her live interviews. My co-author is amazing. And again, like, thank you so much for being here, being a part of this book. We couldn't launch this without you guys. I hope you know that. So thank you so much to everyone who's here. All right, we're signing off.
Bye, everyone.